Well, good afternoon. It's Sunday, and I decided I'd get in here and got to get Mother and I something to eat, so I decided that I'd make us a meatloaf. Remember, I had that ground turkey and the ground pork, so that's what we're going to do today, this afternoon. I don't think I'll need Grandmother's big bowl. I'm going to use one of these big bowls. Well, I might use Grandmother's. These, y'all, are for popcorn. I found them at a resale store, $5 each. Now, you can't beat that for two good big bowls. This one has a little crack on it that's from the glaze. It's nothing to hurt you. But for $5 getting a sponge painted bowl, if you see those, get them because they're always handy to have. You can make potato salad in them, serve in them, all that stuff. So, let me put these on the shelf. All right. Now then, we're just going to open our turkey up. Now this is going to be a big meatloaf, but I need to use this, and I could just do the turkey or I could just do the pork, but I need to use it, so I'm going to go ahead and use both of them, because you know you can always freeze meatloaf very well. So let's get that in there. And that down in there. Kind of mix it so it's kind of down in with each other. So there's our, we'll use that meat. We'll set that back just there. Now, I've already put some onions in my chopper. This other old hand chopper I didn't think I'd like, but I lied to myself. I love it. Don't have to get out that old big one, that old big chopper. So I just click that in there, and now this, well, but I don't have too much. Hold on. This little deal's got to fit right down on that. You got to hold your mouth right. What Grandma always said, hold your mouth right. It'll work. And just turn it. Shake it a little bit, turn it. Shake it a little bit, turn it. Plus you get a little workout. Small workout. So you know, I just chop that onion. Chop those onions up. So let's put a whole onion in there. We'll need some basil and okay, there. Now then, let's give us a little basil. Put that down in there, and I went ahead and got some fennel. Now fennel is kind of like has a smell of a licoricey kind of. I'm just going to put that down in there. Oh, look at these roses. I went ahead and cut these. I'm going to try to root them because I had to, around my mailbox, the mailman comes, and this was hitting his little car. So I just cut those off. Then I cut the buds off, and I put them down in this water. Here, see how that basil makes flowers. It's so sweet. They little white flowers. See that? But you can use them in arrangements. But we'll see if those root. I put a little apple cider vinegar in there. So we'll see. All right, we're gonna have our. Gotta get us some celery now. Now I'm just gonna kind of go ahead and cut this celery up. Put that in my chopper. And all that in my chopper. I hope y'all doing okay today. We're trying to. Mother's fine. She's in there watching late preaching. Okay, so now let's. All you gotta do is that little hill there. Let's see how that works. Probably one little chop. One more little chop. Let's see. See there? Alright, so we'll add that to it. So that's basically our chopped that we need. Right now we're gonna let me get a little spoon. And I'm gonna put just a pretty good sized dollop of horseradish in there. And I'm gonna go ahead and put a pretty good sized garlic in there. Now, something that most people don't do, but I do, is I put Parmesan cheese. I already put a little Worcester sauce in there. Let me get another piece of this Parmesan cheese. Make sure we still got that from the last time. But we'll just grade that. See, we can grade that into here. It just gives it a little flavor that you don't get unless you put the Parmesan in it. We like the Parmesan. I'd say about a half cup, but I'm gonna put about that's a little more than half a cup. That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. Now, since we can't have salt, I'm gonna use the black salt again, and just sprinkle some black salt on it. That's more healthy than that salt. Since I can't have salt anymore, let's do 2 eggs in there. Let's chop them. Now that black salt, I've told y'all, it has the smell of sulfur, so it smells eggy, like sulfury. Let's get this kind of mixed up. Let's get you. Usually I put green bell pepper in. A lot of times I do. I don't know all the time. Let's just get that mixed pretty well. Then we'll continue with our. We're going to have to add pepper to it. I've got some restaurant style pepper. I'm going to try to use this up. I bought this and it's too big a grind for most table. But you can use it in your dishes, kind of like that. So you get your pepper down there. The onions are going to be good in that. Okay, now to that, I'm going to add probably about, I'd say, get my bay leaf out of the way. Kind of keeps bugs out of my stuff if I had any. I'm going to do about a cup of panko. They had a little Italian mixed in with that breadcrumbs. Grandmother always used a sleeve of crackers. I still do if I don't have the breadcrumbs, but I need to use these. And I'll see how. Let's see how that fares. And I usually let it sit a little bit just to see, because then you'll know if you need to add more breadcrumbs. If you'll let it sit and kind of soak those up, and then you'll know. So that's sticking together pretty good up there. Okay, I've got to put in some dill weed. Put in a little dill. Always put in a little paprika. Because when you don't use salt, here's some rosemary. I'm going to try to use this dried rosemary up instead of putting it out of the garden, out of the herb. I finally got all my herbs moved inside. So, see how now that I've let that sit. I turned y'all off for a few minutes. I've let that sit. So that's going to be fine. The breadcrumbs have, see how it's pulling away from the bowl? It's not going to be too, but you want to get this other stuff mixed in. Now, if it's too thick, I could add my, which you still can. I'll show y'all my little deal here. I ordered these on a whim. I don't know if you've seen these or not, but they fit on your milk carton, and they've got 2 batteries, and you just, then you don't, mother don't have to lift that big carton. She can just put her cereal bowl or anything right up to that. Now you can get them off of Amazon. That keeps you from having to lift that big old carton. And now I'm going to mix this, because I don't want that meatloaf to be dry. I feel like dry as a bone. So I'll add that half a cup of milk. Alright. The only thing I didn't, but I went ahead and put celery in it, is that bell pepper, but that's fine. Okay, now see, that's kind of sticky, but it's still pulling away. That'd be fine. Now the next decision is, I'm going to put it in my Kaiser square pan. Well, what I've always found out that I like to do is that I get, I've got another one of these, so I get my bundt pan. Take this, and I just dip it into my bundt pan. Mash it down into your bundt pan. See how that pulls away from that bowl? You won't get all of it. Don't waste nothing. These bowls are so heavy. Okay. Now if you want this a little more ketchupy, you can put tomato sauce or ketchup or however you want to do it. Now I will add that to the top once I get this mashed of it. Alright. Now this will take a while to cook. Even in the convection, it'll take a while to cook. So let's just get that done. Yeah. Looks pretty good. That looks pretty good there. Now let's get some ketchup. I use that 100% natural tomato ketchup. And I just take that and I just put that right on top. And you can do it however you want to. But this, I just feel like it gives it that little glaze that everybody knows about meatloaf, you know. So you might as well make everybody happy. And plus it'll give a little shine, a little sheen. I just kind of put that out there like that. Now if I was going to serve this, you know, because once you get this out of the pan, it'll cut. You slice it or however you want, but I usually decorate the top of it. If I might have a dinner party. But since it's just Mother and I, we won't need a dinner party, will we? Alright, I'm going to put that at 350. I'm going to put that in the convection oven. Let me get a paper towel. Now, take that off there. Clean this edge of my pan. Get that ketchup off there. So, now we'll put that in the oven for 350. On 350. I'm going to get it turned on, y'all. I have to turn it down to 350. And let's do that probably, I'd say 45 minutes. We'll start it. Then I'll turn on the convection. So we're not probably going to need 45 minutes, but we're just going to convectionize it anyway. Then we'll watch it. How about that? Probably the best thing we can do. Alright, so I've already got my acorn squash washed. Now I'm just going to take that stem part off of these. Let's go on. Okay. That was a hard one. That was kind of a hard one. I don't have as much strength as I used to, though. So I can't say that. So that gives me a cutting advantage on these acorn squash. Let me rinse my hands. Okay, so now I'm going to take the knife and you see what we're doing. We're just cutting those in half and then half with these big old seeds. It's like looks like a pumpkin seed. You know, squash are so good for you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this in half. I'm going to cut that squash. You have to be awful careful with this. It'd have been better. I was just trying to show you how to cut that. I always scoop that seeds out, and then you don't have to cut through them. But sometimes I'm gone. Sometimes I'm gone. Sometimes I already went somewhere. So let me get the little bowl and I'm going to scrape those seeds out there. Oh yeah, that. There's nothing like November and fall around my house without acorn squash, because I just love them. You know, for so many years we ate them with brown sugar and all that. Well, I roast them now, and so that's what we're going to have is roasted acorn squash. You can do so many things with these. You can do so many things with the acorn squash. I had the yellow squash also. Now these seeds I'll keep because I like the way these acorn squash look. There's no sense in throwing them away. Pitch them out in the ground, and you might be surprised what you get from even store-bought stuff. A lot of times store-bought stuff won't come up, but a lot of times it does. And then you don't have to spend all that money for those seeds. I hope these microphones aren't too close and I sound like I'm giving y'all a obscene phone call or something. My breathing. But I do what I can do. And after getting that cancer, I can tell they won't put me on oxygen at night. I haven't gave in yet. So, we'll see. Look at all those seeds, y'all. A lot. A lot. Boy, we'd have them vines like we had on the front porch, wouldn't we? Okay. Let me get this kind of... I've got those seeds everywhere. Let me try to get them up. While I'm doing this, there we go. There's little seeds here, and little seeds there. Let me get my little rag. Get this kind of cleaned up a little bit. All right. So, now let me get I'll use my mesh basket. I'll try to put those. I'm going to cut them in half, remember? They're still hard, but be careful doing this, because you don't want to split your hand open. And I've done it. Don't think I haven't. I could have got my mallet, but I'm not going to wear it. Just going to do it like this. See if we can get this. I'm just going to stack those up. Then we'll decide how we want to do this. Okay. These I would just cut them in half using, and I would fill them with, you can fill them with rice, brown rice. And that, some of them work, but the rewards are quite good. Quite good. Alright, so I'm just showing you how to do this. We can try to get that on. I don't think we'll do it. We'll probably have to get that other tray, and I just don't know. We can do it. We can do it. So let me get the other tray. Got this chopped up. And okay, I decided that I'm going to use my Instapot. So I want to make sure the stems are cut off. And I'm just going to kind of put these in for right now until I can get some. I'm trying to pack them in there kind of up. I like that. I'll just hit that because you're going to add water. So we'll just put our pieces of acorn squash down in the Instapot. We had that one little piece. Alright, so then I'm going to add about a cup of water. So it'll steam those, not quite to the top. We'll put that in our Instapot. I'm going to put that on. Let me see. If I can. I'm going to lock that and then I'm going to go down to my, I'm going to set that for, I can't see I'm looking, trying to find it. Well, I don't want porridge and I don't want saute or slow cook. So I'll just push pressure cook, and I'm going to put that on 20 minutes and turn off the keep warm. Make sure the buttons are down. So I put that on. There's my Instapot. It's getting ready to be cooked. And I'll put you can go ahead and put salt and pepper or however you want to do it. But when I get those out, what I'll do is I'll put butter on there. Put butter and a little brown sugar on there. But we'll do that here in just a little bit. I'll be back. Okay, so while we're waiting on our meats and things, you know I love Allen green beans. So I got the cannon pot out because I'm fixing to cook a big deal of these. That's them Allen's green beans. You can't beat it. You don't have garden fresh green beans, and you just do this. Now, I'm going to set this back over here. Give me one of my small pans. I've got my get one of my Kurok pans. That other than done just fine. I just like these white pans so y'all can see. Let me get some onions out of the freezer. Now, I should have chopped some of them, but I need to use these great value onions. So I'm going to put a little olive oil into my pan. Let that get kind of hot there. Y'all seen me do these green beans a million times. But I think if you don't, if it's not instilled in your mind, it will be when I get through. How to make green beans taste like they're out of the garden every time. So now we're just going to take our frozen onions. We're going to put about, I'd say, maybe a half cup. So I want them onions. And I'll just roll that down, put it in my bag, and put it back in the freezer. They're still frozen. And you won't have to worry about not having onions. I've still got to do those beets, but I didn't want to today. I've been trying all kind of recipes still. I've been trying to figure out some things. Christmas coming up, you know. So, we just got a little, see, sometimes those onions have a little bitty piece of the forward. So you have to watch out. But now those are kind of sauteed down there. Now if you wanted to, you could put some bacon in these or something, but I don't need the salt. So there's another little piece of shell. Oh. Here's that kind of cooking down there. I guess I can make that camera go in just a little more. I don't know what it matters. I probably should have put it in earlier. But I don't think. I'm just... Now we're going to have to get some our pepper. Let's use this. Use it. This is such big. I guess what I could do, because this is just too big. The grind on it is too big, so let me just put some in this. I'll put it in this mortar pestle. I'll grind my own pepper. Yeah, I bought that not noticing. But now that's a smaller ground there. Give just a little bit of this. So that's a little smaller ground. Not really fine. Turn the fire down. That's just caramelizing those onions. It gives it a lot better taste if it's got caramelized onions in anything. The way I think about it. One thing you can do with these beans, you put some of that Polish sausage in them. There's just so many things you can do to them are caramelized. That's what you want. Now we've got our beans. I'll put a little bit of black salt in it. A little black salt. No. Okay. Now we just switch our pans. That's all we got to do. That's caramelized. That's a lot of onions, but it's going to be good with them green beans. I'll rinse my pan out. I even put just a hair more water in. Let's check them. Now we'll just get them up to a good boil. Nothing like some good green beans. Now y'all know, and I've told you, just let it boil and boil, because I use the juice out of the can. I do not drain them. Put the can and everything in there. Put the kitchen sink in there. I wonder what our meatloaf, let's just kind of, let me check in the oven. Let me show y'all so you know that it's getting done, see. You can tell that it's pulling away from the sides and the liquid is coming to the middle. So that's what we want. Got about 20 more minutes on that, even on convection. So y'all may, if you use a bundt pan, it may take you an hour or longer. But I'll be back. Okay, I was trying to finish getting the pans cleaned up and the meatloaf went off. So let's look at it. These beans have boiled down. See how they have boiled down to just near nothing. And that's what you want. That's what will give them the best. I put 2 big dollops of butter in here. And I'm letting that. So let me just kind of pull that off a little bit. I guess I could put it right over here on this board. And then we can set our meatloaf there. Then we'll check our squash. The squash has got about 5 more minutes. Maybe not that long, but let me check on the meatloaf. I think that meatloaf looks so good. See there? It's got kind of, I don't want, let me get a paper towel. I do not want that liquid, which had just a little bit there. I don't like the way it looks, but I don't want it getting everywhere, so I just take a clean paper towel and just dab my meatloaf off. Now you could glaze that again with some ketchup or whatever you want to do. Now let that cool now. You gotta let that cool so it don't fall apart. Then we'll get, let me get some, let's see about these beans. Let me see about the beans. See that, that's some good beans there. That really is some good beans there. So we'll set those right back there to help our plate here in a minute. Let me get a drink of water. I always keep water anymore, y'all. I don't drink pops and all that, but since no more salt, I have to be quite careful. All right, now let me get let me cut the, we hope that this is steamed enough. I'm going to go ahead and let the steam out of this because I don't want it to come out mush. I'll hear that, you know, I'm blowing my steam, blowing my top. I don't do that too often anymore. Boy, that had a lot of steam in there. Y'all have to go back and watch one of the videos where I went over to that lady's house for the dinner party and didn't go ever again. She blew the whole damn pressure cooker lid through the ceiling of the kitchen. About the time we was going to get ready to carve the meat and eat, she invited me several times again, and I just declined. I'll be out of town. I'm so sorry. Because I thought next time it might be meat going through that ceiling. But these Instant Pots are so much different than the old canners or the pressure cookers that we grew up with. I've still got a couple of the old, but I don't use it. I love my Instant Pot. I wouldn't do without it. People say, well, I just don't like it. I can't cook with it. Well, you got to experiment. You've got to watch my videos because there's quite a few on how to cook in them. And today we're going to check out the squash and see how it does. I'm trying to let that steam get out of there, y'all. I'm going to put some different herbs. I've got my butter. Let me see if I've got one stick of butter here. I think that might be enough butter, but we will see. Okay. Now, let me see if that lid. See, it won't let you take your lid off until it gets enough steam. And once you get your lid off, then you can check it out. Now these should be just as soft as everything. See how they come out now? I'll see that. Let me get a colander. Off the wall. Let me get a colander. Now I'm going to put them in the colander in the sink and get that. Let me get my lids and all this out of the way. Too small a kitchen. One day I hope that I'll get married and I'll have a big kitchen. Well, maybe not married, but that's out of my line of sight. Let me just drain these. And boy, that's hot, so you have to do it pretty quick. Pretty quick. Now let me drain them. I'm sorry y'all can't see over here, but I can't move the camera everywhere. Now these hulls, you could have taken that off there, but that's where all your vitamins are, is in your hulls. I mean, that's where all, on these squash or any squash, let's see how they'll just fall apart. So let's put our butter down in there. Get that kind of, I probably should have peeled them, but I didn't. So we just have to go on and do the best we can, don't we? All right, so I'm going to take some Vietnamese cinnamon. I'm just going to sprinkle. Not a lot, because this Vietnamese cinnamon is the best cinnamon in the world. And it's good and all that, but you don't want to overdo it. Cardamom. Of course, we got to have our cardamom. Just enough to nutmeg, y'all. Let me get a nutmeg, a fresh nutmeg. Let me get my nutmeg grinder. Oh boy, this smells like Halloween and Thanksgiving and Christmas and all of it. Boy, that smells good. If y'all could just smell this, you'd probably say, I can't believe the smell, how good that Vietnamese cinnamon is the best cinnamon in the world. It really is. And let me get that put up. Alright, now I'll get out of grandmother's old German. This is a coffee one, but I keep my brown sugar in this. And then I keep my white sugar. I've got the whole set of these German things. But then I keep my brown sugar into that. Let me get another spoon. Get a big spoon. Now I'm just going to take and just, I don't want to overpower it, but I don't want to underpower it either. I think probably 3 big tablespoons or 4 is all that we need of our brown sugar. Now, I don't want to, I do not want to overdo that. Yeah, next time we're going to peel these in this Instapot. Mother and I'll just have to eat around it. But see that, yeah. See, that just comes off there. Just like that. Then you've got your squash. But it'll be easier. I'd like to taste it, but I don't know, it may be too hot. Let me see. Let me try it. See. That's good, y'all. That really is good. Now I put a little, since we're not going to use too much salt, you got to have salt for sweet. I'll put a little salt on it, kind of just. That wasn't enough to. But see, that'll bring that sugar on out. They were good. Those are good, y'all. Might ought to try that. You know, I thought about doing these with, remember how we used to make that old squash casserole? I think that's what I'm going to do next time, is try a squash casserole with, take this, do kind of like I've done, add some other ingredients, and then put a crust on the top. I think that'd be good too. This got a lot of vitamins in that, so that's going to be good for you. For us, for y'all, for any of y'all that's here to eat with us, you'd be happy. Now see, this here is cooled down. I'm going to run my knife just kind of around that. I don't want it to fall apart. Like I told y'all, I've got cornbread, remember? I made cornbread night before last. I'll cut around the center of that. I want to make sure that's done. If it's not, many times, if you have something that's not done, just put it in your microwave. Cut it in pieces, and that'll firm it up real quick. All right, let me see here. I don't have my big turkey platters or nothing. I'm not going to use. Let me get my big carotte. One of my big carotte frying pans. And I can set this carotte, see, over the top of that. The only thing about that carotte I don't like is these stains on the bottom. Now, see, I'm just going to, I don't know what that will do. Ooh, it's hot. See how, ooh, it's too hot. I can't get it out now. Oh, Billy Jean, get out of that. You can do it. I'll tell you what, let me get one of these. I found more uses for these carotte things, these peels, than you've ever seen. If I can just get that on that edge, we'll be okay, y'all. Right? It's so hot. It's just so hot. Now then. Okay. Now then. Now then. Oh yeah, that'll be alright. Wish I could flip it over, but I can't, so we're just going to cut it just like this. See that pork? Let me get a plate. Let me get a plate. A little plate. We're going to use a paper plate. I'm not doing dishes. I do enough. But let's do these paper plates because I got enough stuff going on. But I've never been one to do paper plates and all that. And I'm going to tell you, sometimes it's easier. Well, I have my lifter, but I never can find nothing. So we're going to take us we'll just take us for Mama's plate. We'll put the meatloaf on there. I usually leave 2 plates just in case. Now, I'll try to go around that. And give her just squash so she won't think, gosh, what is Billie Jean giving me today? You know, it'll be 94 birthday and she likes certain things, but she doesn't care for French stuff or anything out of the ordinary. She does not like. Now those squash, see that hole is not on there. Okay, let me get some of these green beans. She loves green beans. She loves green beans. And so do I. I see that makes a good plate right there. Let me get a piece of, I'll show you. Now that cornbread I made in the skillet, I keep it in the bag in the refrigerator. And so then what I'll do is I'll heat that and I'll put it here in just a minute and I'll put it here with her food. And she can have buttered cornbread with her meatloaf and squash and green beans. And that's what we're going to have, y'all. This is Sunday, the Lord's Day. Be blessed. Hope y'all had a good time for Halloween. We didn't do anything. We just have been keeping warm and keeping the cats tended to. And I'm going to go live just as soon as I feel up to it. I just haven't really felt up to it, but I've got to cook, so that's the time that you can see me. I just appreciate y'all and thank you for the prayers because I'm getting better until I have to do it all over again. But that's just the way life is. So I wish y'all was here to eat with us. God bless you. God bless us. God bless the United States. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.